went all the way to Winona in 1963. I remember that trip, and it was a four-cylinder, 60 horsepower bus that went about 45 miles an hour on two-lane highways. It's a long way from Staten Island to Peru, Indiana, at 45 miles an hour. But we showed up in Peru, and Uncle Harry took us around the farm, which was quite a novelty for somebody from New York City. And we were in the Jeep, which was fun for me already, and I was sitting by the spare wheel, I think, over there, and Uncle Harry was showing my dad driving through this overgrown field, and he said, "Yeah, I got to be careful here. There's a hole right over." Wham! The thing went out in, and I wound up actually in my dad's lap, and Uncle Harry, because the one wheel dropped and the end came up, and Uncle Harry said, "Yep, see, I told you. There it is." But in later life, I remember my Uncle Harry coming through when my dad was sick, and I could just see the true love between the two brothers there, as he knew that it was near the end for my dad. And that's the one thing that Uncle Harry always meant to me, was he was sentimental, and I think it translates to what a good heart he had. I went to the same high school as he and my dad did, Lawrenceville, and he offered me his Lawrenceville school ring because he just thought it'd be nice for me to have that. And then later in life, he knew that when I was coming out to Colorado frequently, I do have business out there, and got to talking to him, and he just let me take, for my own use, some of his contemporaneous notes from World War II service. And that clearly was a big time in his life, and I knew from my dad's service that it was a big impact on those people, and I've shared this with Liz, and Liz shared it with me, but there he was on shipboard, and my father was on an island battle, and his ship was off the island, and he was in his notes, he was showing great concern for his brother, his younger brother, and he knew it was a bad land battle, and some lightly wounded Marines came aboard. And I remember his exclamation point in his notation that day. He'd spoken to those Marines, and they knew my dad. His concern was for other people. It was he was certainly in a battle zone himself, and he said, they know Jim. Jim is alive! Exclamation point. And that's what Uncle Harry always seemed to me, always concerned for others, strong and willing to do for others, and you could always turn to him, and he was always looking out for above and beyond himself. And so that's why I was always glad that I got to know him in these later years.